Welcome to Cary, North Carolina for the Division II Baseball Championship. Two teams left, Point Loma and North Greenville. I'm Joe Castellano along with Lincoln Rose. Great to have you with us. And for North Greenville, they can win a national championship with a victory here tonight. For Point Loma, they have to win to be able to set up a game tomorrow that would be for the national championship because they have a loss here in Cary. Earlier today, it was Point Loma winning 2-0 over Rollins to avoid elimination and get to this point. North Greenville is 3-0 in this tournament. On the mound for North Greenville, Reese Fields, the sophomore. He won the opener on Sunday for North Greenville, went 7 innings, no earned runs in that game, 10-2 on the year with a 3.90 ERA.
These were the last two unbeaten teams this week. We saw North Greenville take care of business last night against Westchester. That stumble against Rollins yesterday ultimately means that Point Loma had to burn their All-American pitcher Baxter Halligan earlier today. We will see just exactly where both these teams stands with pitching moving forward.
80 degrees and beautiful sunshine all around Coleman Field. Good crowd on hand. A lot of fans coming from North Greenville to root on the Crusaders, trying to win the national championship tonight. Otto Kemp will lead it off. Kemp hitting .363, 16 homers, 61 RBIs, and he has just been on fire. 8 for 16 in the tournament, 4 for 4 earlier today in that game against Rollins. Here we go. And that's a called strike, 0-1. And Kemp is your really quintessential leadoff man. He has reached base in all 60 games this season for the Sea Lions.
You mentioned 4 for 4 the last game.
He takes the ball, 1-1.
As he singled every time up until finally in the ninth, they just pointed at him and said, go down to first for the intentional walk.
So got on base every time in that 2-0 win earlier today. That's fouled behind the plate, and the count is 1-2. We have 6 umpires for the national championship. Rick Cacciatore is the home plate umpire. Ray Chamberlain at first, Drew Eaton at second. Steve Zawiski at third. Got a left field umpire, Josh Gottlieb, and Adam Berg is the right field umpire. 1-2 on the way to Kemp. High. 2-2 the count.
And just in case it didn't sink in, Joe, we'll let you repeat the fact that Otto Kemp, 60 games this year, has reached base all 60
That's just
games.
An amazing statistic. The 2-2. And that is high for a ball. It was not caught by Cash. 3-2 the count.
No, that's a foul ball off his bat.
Was it off his bat? Yeah.
It's 2-2.
All right, so it stays 2-2.
Could not get the bat out of the way.
So Fields ready with a break-even pitch. Outside. Now it's 3-2.
Otto Kemp, remember last time we saw him, he was on third, a laser shot that possibly could have tied the game against Rollins. And he was able to secure it with quick reaction with his glove.
3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball. So Fields strikes out the first batter of the game.
Just the second time all week that Kemp hasn't reached in the first inning.
Shortstop, number 3, Scott Anderson.
Sharp break on that pitch from Fields. Throws a slider, curve, changeup, cutter, all kinds of moving pitches. A fastball that goes 89 to 91 miles an hour for the Conference Carolinas Pitcher of the Year. Here's Scott Anderson hitting .310, 9 homers, and he fouls it back to the screen. 0-1. He's got 49 RBIs, and he is 6 for 20 here in Cary.
We've got the top 2 seeds still playing baseball. They just happen to be the team that's closest to Cary, North Carolina, and the team that's farthest from Cary, North Carolina.
0-1 to Anderson. Breaking ball right in there for a called strike, 0-2. He'll be followed by Baxter Halligan. Fields won the opener Sunday against Westchester and went 7 innings, 1 run. It was unearned and only 5 hits allowed. 0-2 pitch low, and it's 1-2 to Anderson. Jack Gonzalez will pitch tonight for Point Loma, going on 3 days rest. There is Pat Monteith, who has been one of the heroes for North Greenville with a bat and with a glove. Swing and a miss, strike 3 so far. Good breaking balls by Fields has struck out the first 2 batters, Kemp and Anderson. Such a late break on that pitch.
Ideal start for Reese Fields.
Hitters, number 15, Baxter
Trying to give NGU the chance to strike first in the home half.
And the infield will play way over the overshift. 3 infielders to the right of second base in that overshift against Baxter Halligan, hitting .341, 9 homers, 47 RBIs, and he bluffs a bunt. 1-0. It was Halligan who pitched his way to the victory in the first game of the day. 2-0 win against Rollins. Pitched really well. And that was an elimination game for Point Loma to get to this ball game to try to advance to tomorrow to try to win the national championship. 1-1 the count to Halligan.
The dugout emptied for Point Loma in the 7th when Halligan exited that ball game, but a little less emotional than usual. Might be the final time he pitches, but he knew he'd have a chance to swing the bat again as long as they continued to advance in this tournament.
We combined with Veen and Hillier on the shutout. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled on the first base side. 1-2, so now Fields has a chance to strike out the side in order in the first inning. This is against a Point Loma team that has been hitting like crazy here, a .350 batting average as a team, and averaging a little over 6 runs a game in this tournament. But Fields looks really sharp right off the bat. Well, the second baseman, Octavio, he's playing way out in the outfield. That's as deep as he's played. The 1-2, line drive, base hit into right center field. Cut off out there by center, throws it in, so Halligan, it doesn't matter if you put on a shift. He found a hole out there for a 2-out single.
Remember, Point Loma won in a pitcher's duel 2-0 in that earlier game. They have to imagine they're going to need a lot more runs against the prolific NGU offense here today. A nice job by Halligan battling and working his way on.
Here comes Hunter Ochin, hitting .322, 11 homers and 49 RBIs. Been slowed down a little bit with a bat lately.
Yeah, against Rollins was 0 for 8 in those 2 games. Had some nice defense, though, to help out.
He's got the All-American Halligan at first base leading off, being held by Holiday. First pitch to Ochin is high for a ball, 1-0. We've enjoyed watching Hunter and his routine in between pitches throughout the week with the Sea Lions. Very unique. Very energetic.
He's a sophomore out of San Diego. Went to high school at Point Loma.
There's a strike. 1-1 to Ochin. Well, a West Coast team has not won the national championship since 1999, Chico State. Point Loma would need to win tonight and then again tomorrow to be the first team from the West region to win the national championship since '99. The 1-1. Strike called, and it's 1-2.
And we haven't seen a national champion from the Carolinas since 2021.
Wingate last year. Now, they were a number 6 seed. We've got the top 2 seeds here. Point Loma number 2 and North Greenville number 1. 1-2 to Ochin. Fields deals. Slider misses outside. It's 2-2. Still has a chance to strike out the side. There are your fans coming all the way from San Diego.
The vocal majority probably is going to be heard from Tigerville, South Carolina.
Halligan leads off again at first. 2-2 to Ochin. Fouled back. No, it's interesting, Lincoln, that both of these teams have swung the bats really well here. But throughout the season, they're both really known for their pitching staffs.
Yeah, you kind of develop as your region develops. So we've seen offense prevail here this week.
And certainly the Crusaders, their pitching has been a little more rested because they've gone 3-0. 2-2 to Ochin. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over as Fields strikes out the side. Did have a base hit allowed, but leaves that man on base. At the end of 1.5 innings, the score, Point Loma 0. North Greenville coming to bat. The Sun's starting to set here on a beautiful evening in Cary, North Carolina. And North Greenville a chance to win the national championship with a win. Their head coach, Landon Powell, and his team will go up against left-hander Jack Gonzalez, the grad student left-hander who is 10-1, got a win earlier in this tournament. He's going on 3 days rest, 3.53 ERA. He beat Southern Arkansas on Monday.
Jack, one of a couple of Sea Lion pitchers with a no-hitter this year. As earlier this year against Concordia, 7-inning affair, 15 strikeouts, retiring 21 of the 22 hitters. But one of the 3 very capable arms for Point Loma.
He went 6 innings the first time out, gave up 2 runs and 5 hits, struck out 5. Point Loma under head coach Justin James. He was a former pitcher at Point Loma, and his pitching staff came into this tournament second in the nation in ERA. They picked up their 14th shutout of the season earlier today, the 2-0 win over Rollins. Garrig Octavio to lead it off for North Greenville, hitting .339, a home run and 35 RBIs. Yes, he is named after Lou Gehrig. His dad, a Yankees fan. Called strike to Octavio, 0-1. Comes from Hawaii.
Yeah, I think we saw some of the family members make their way out. Gehrig was 0 for 4 in that game in which they ended the season of Westchester yesterday.
It's a blooper foul in left field. 0-2 the count to Octavio. He has driven in 6 runs from the leadoff spot. That's hard to do.
Well,
you lose an at-bat early on, right? Unless you hit a home run, you're not going to drive anybody in.
But that bottom third of the order has been nice and productive for North Greenville.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And these pitchers have come out firing strikes and getting strikeouts, 3 of them for Fields. And now we see Gonzalez K, the first batter.
Another look. Southpaw Gonzalez. We've seen 4 strikeouts in this ball game. 3-point Loma hitters, and now the first for NGU.
Here's Ethan Stringer hitting .312, 7 homers, 39 RBIs. Hits it in the air to shallow center field. Charging in is Alvarez. He's there. 2 down. Boy, this North Greenville team early in games, they have just been killing opponents. They have outscored their opponents 18-1 in the first 4 innings of games here in Cary.
John Michael Vale's been a big part of that quick strike offense.
.418 batting average on the year, 16 homers, 85 RBIs, 6 for 13 here in Cary. And all of this coming in Cary after he had knee surgery less than 3 weeks before the Division II baseball championship. And he was not rusty. He homered in his first at-bat here in this Division II baseball championship after coming back from the knee surgery.
He was the Conference Player of the Year last year in Conference Carolinas. His teammate Merritt Kloop was this year's.
I was saying that his surgeon might be the MVP if North Greenville wins.
Yeah, incredible recovery time.
Breaking ball down low, 2-1 to fail. He's got 60 homers in his career.
60th came earlier this week here in Cary.
2 outs, nobody on base, 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. He went after a high pitch right there, chasing it. So now Gonzalez bidding for a 1-2-3 inning against the team that has scored 29 runs in their first 3 games in Cary. It's an amazing offense here. 2-2 to fail. That misses low. 3-2. On deck is Merritt Kloop. This team has had 60 base runners in 3 games. Just digest that for a moment. They've had 24 walks, 32 hits, and 4 hit batsmen thrown in. 3-2 to fail. Fouled back. It remains 3-2. They are a patient team.
Yeah, until the 2-game series with Rollins, you would say Point Loma's offense was the one that could keep up with North Greenville. North Greenville hasn't really had a down day. They were showing maybe in their first game against Westchester when they couldn't find insurance, but led the bulk of the way.
Ball 4, so John Michael Fail works a 2-out walk.
So when John Michael Fail was worked back in the lineup this weekend, he was in the 6th spot, but he's been back in the 3-hole, and that has forced pitchers to pitch to him because this man, Merritt Kloop, is always in that on-deck circle.
He's had a great season, but he's been slowed down lately, and in this tournament, he's hitting 200, 2 for 10, 2 RBIs, but on the year, 393, 12 homers, 74 RBIs. Rips one to third, fielding it as Kepp will go to second base and gets the force to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 1, it's Point Loma nothing, North Greenville nothing. Point Loma here at the Division II Baseball Championship for the first time. Same with North Greenville. And we're 0-0 as we go to the 2nd inning. Alongside Lincoln Rose, I'm Joe Castellano. Jacob Christian will lead it off, hitting .328, 13 homers, 56 RBIs. Has the only home run for Point Loma in this tournament. In fact, they've only had 5 extra base hits out of their 48 hits in the tournament. They're just looking for any kind of hits against Fields as he deals a breaking ball for a called strike 0-1. He struck out 3 in the 1st inning, did allow a single, but 3 Ks, and he is flashing a great slider so far. The 0-1. And there it is for a called strike 0-2.
Of course, North Greenville's been sitting around all day not knowing who would be in the opposite dugout here tonight until a few hours ago.
Fields averages about a strikeout per inning. The 0-2, swing and a foul back. It remains 0-2. But he seems poised to get a lot of strikeouts tonight.
This is the first day of the tournament that a team has been asked to play twice in the same day. Uphill battle for Point Loma, obviously. They need to force another game tomorrow.
An unusual situation with the weather coming tomorrow, changing the schedule. Strike 3 called. Got him again with off-speed stuff. 4th strikeout for Fields. All 4 of his outs have been on strikeouts.
The catcher, number 2, Easton Waterman.
Jax Cash there to help his pitcher.
Easton Waterman, who has been the hottest hitter for Point Loma, comes up 7 for 12 in this tournament. .583 average, .277 on the year with a homer. That pitch inside almost hit him. 1-0.
Well, think about it. He's catching his 2nd game of the day.
That is difficult to imagine.
These aren't 7-inning doubleheader games.
Yeah, it's a long day. Takes outside. 2-0 the count. Point Loma, they beat Illinois Springfield on Saturday in their first game, then beat Southern Arkansas, so they were 2-0. That's high for a ball, 3-0. Then they had 2 days off. That seemed like a big advantage, but they lost to Rollins Thursday. They were beaten up 12-4, rebounded earlier today for that 2-0 win against Rollins to get here to this point.
So again, they've had the longest layoff and the shortest turnaround.
Right. 3-0 to Waterman. That's a called strike, 3-1. This is the latest the game has started in this tournament. Outfield plays straight away against Waterman. With 1 out, nobody on. There's a strike, and now the count is full at 3-2, and Waterman thought it was ball 4.
Yeah, they're getting that outer edge. We've seen that pretty consistently. Something for both teams to be mindful of.
Fields looking for strikeout number 5. Payoff pitch fouled back. I mean, Fields has got to be feeling it right now with his slider. It's been working so great for him. All the pitchers have done well for North Greenville here. The opponents against them, and Cary hitting 158. Payoff pitch outside, ball 4. So a good eye there for Waterman, his 4th walk of the tournament, and he's on with 1 out.
Second base runner of the ball game for Point Loma. Had that 2-out single from Halligan last inning. Baxter would be left on base.
Here comes Jack Malone hitting 278, 7 homers, 40 RBIs, and one of the heroes of the first game today for Point Loma. He made 2 remarkable catches in left field, also had a bunt on a squeeze play that scored one of the 2 runs. Up there with a runner at first, 1 out. And he takes inside 1-0.
Yeah, it was the same batter for Rollins that probably felt like he was picking on him. That was Parker Smith for Rollins earlier today, who twice lined out to left, including that diving catch.
3 infielders to the right of second base against Malone. Big hole on the left side of the infield. And he takes a strike, 1-1. It's interesting when you put a shift on like that, a lot of times you'll see the third baseman moved over quite a bit. In this case, he's off the line as you see there, but there's just a ton of room between the third baseman and the shortstop, who's to the right of second. Waterman leads at first base. 1-1 to Malone. A liner, a little looping liner, caught at shortstop by Bivens. Back to first goes Waterman.
Yeah, hit right to him.
So that is out number 2, and Jason Dumont comes up, hitting 241, a homer, and 19 RBIs. He's a switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty fields.
Dumont earlier today, a couple of walks, was 0 for 2 in that clincher against Rollins.
The Point Loma second baseman climbing in. He's from Portland, Oregon. Facing Fields, who's from West Columbia, South Carolina. Breaking ball in the dirt, it squirts to the right of Cash. Taking off for second is Waterman. The throw not in time. So Easton Waterman heads up base running there. Gets the second. We'll see how that is scored, whether it's a wild pitch or a pass ball.
One catcher trying to run at the expense of the other. Cash made it close, almost a tag applied on the heels of Waterman. Able to get in there in time.
I think it was a wild pitch. One and 0 is the count to Dumont. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 2-0. So runner in scoring position here. Our first of the game. Outfield straightaway. The second baseman, Octavio, playing out in shallow right field. Shortstop Bivens is more conventional. 2-0 to Dumont. Inside, ball 3. It's 3-0. So you had a walk to Waterman, and now it is Fields falling behind 3-0. Fields slowing down his pace a little bit here. Getting the sign from Cash. Does Dumont take all the way on 3-0? He's taking it, and it is a strike on the inside part of the plate, 3-1. Point Loma 51-9 up against 53-10 North Greenville. One of these teams will be the national champ for the first time in school history. 3-1 to Dumont. High and tight, ball 4. So 2 on 2 walks, and now the number 9er, Isaiah Alvarez, will come up.
Bottom third of the order for Point Loma, trying to come through. Right down to the number 9 hitter, Alvarez, comes up for the first time to face Fields today.
He's a 300 hitter, 319 batting average, 3 homers, 33 RBIs, 5 for 14 in Cary with 3 ribbies.
Alvarez, second team all Pac-West Conference.
Second baseman Octavio playing him towards the middle quite a bit. Fields looks at second in the first pitch. Called strike. Otto Kemp is on deck. Throughout this tournament, in both dugouts, the players never sit in the dugout. They're just leaning over the railing. And You can tell that it's pretty tense here tonight.
Yeah, if you need to save on your budget building a baseball diamond, no need for a bench.
Not here. 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1.
Everybody wants to be on the edge of those dugout steps.
Fields has already thrown 42 pitches. We're only in the second inning. So it was great that he was getting those strikeouts, but it also kind of adds to his pitch count. And in the field, they're really not getting a whole lot of work. It's been either strikeout or walk for the most part. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Big rip by Alvarez, and he falls behind 1-2. So now Fields will try to get out of this, looking for his 5th strikeout. Runners take their leads. Waterman at second and Dumont at first.
Let's go, Loma!
Ready for the 1-2 to Alvarez. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Fields, and he leaves 2 more men on base. He has left 3 on in the first 2 innings. At the end of 1.5, 0-0, Point Loma and North Greenville. Well, one of those flags could drop tonight. Point Loma could have the flag drop. North Greenville, they'll stay alive no matter what happens tonight. They still could win the national championship tomorrow. Pat Monteith to lead it off for North Greenville in a 0-0 game beginning the bottom of the second, facing Jack Gonzalez. Monteith, 338 average, 15 homers, takes a strike. He's got 57 RBIs, and he hit a grand slam yesterday that got the Crusaders going. And they ended up scoring 7 runs in the 3rd and 4th innings combined. Took that 7-0 lead and went on to win 8-5 over Westchester. He has been great with a glove and his strong arm at third as well. But, I mean, 2 homers, including the grand slam, and 6 RBIs here in Cary have made for a great time for him. As he takes a breaking ball inside, 2-1.
Yeah, that 3rd inning yesterday, quickly 2 outs were recorded, and then all of a sudden 3 men for North Greenville reached. The 4th man was Monteith, and he did the rest.
As that wide open stance. There's a strike, 2-2. And that grand slam that he hit, that was quite a poke. 438 feet to center field for that grand slam that he hit. Gonzalez deals. Ground ball in the hole at shortstop, backhanded by Anderson. And his throw bounces by Christian at first base. Monteith on his way to second. The throw not in time from Christian. So a bad throw by the shortstop Anderson, and Monteith is on at second with nobody out.
Well, it just makes you appreciate Pat Monteith and his arm even more when you see the left side of the infielder try to make that throw and misgauge it, and Monteith able to quickly turn and head up to second for an extra 90 feet.
Number 19, Josh Center.
He was in good position, but just threw it in front of the base. That was tough for Christian to stop it. Good hustle there by Monteith. Even though that ball caromed back to the first baseman, throw too late.
Well, and be mindful that the first baseman for now is still dealing with a setting sun. It's really one of only 2 positions that have to deal with that sun.
And Anderson has uncharacteristically made a couple of errors today, one earlier today and now this one. Here's Josh Center hitting .297, 11 homers, 54 RBIs, takes a strike, 0-1. And for Point Loma, they had the fewest errors in the country coming into this tournament, the #1 defense in the nation, but that's a mistake right there, and we'll see if they can get through it. Monteith at second. Center waiting for Gonzalez, and he swings and misses. Was behind the fastball there, 0-2.
Center this year in his final year, second team all-conference in the Conference Carolinas. I mentioned both these programs with 50 wins or more, one of 3 teams that will leave Cary with at least 50 wins.
0-2 to center, and it's just outside, 1-2. The last couple of games, North Greenville scoring a lot. 18-3 win over Angelo State. And they had 18 hits and 3 homers. And then I mentioned the big lead they had against Westchester and ended up winning it 8-5 yesterday. So their offense has been explosive. 1-2 to center. Gonzalez deals, and that's about a 58-footer blocked by Waterman. 2-2.
Well, opportunity to reward Reese Fields by giving him a lead to work with after his great start so far for North Greenville with 5 strikeouts through 2 innings.
He has been fantastic. Gonzalez started this outing with a strikeout. Looking for another one here. The 2-2 to center. Hit high in the air, left field and deep. Malone going back, though. He's pretty much under control there on the warning track. Tagging at second, Monteith, and he gets in the third. So 1 away as center gave that a ride to left field.
Yeah, the ball just not carrying. Perhaps another night that's gone, or at least Jack Malone is forced to climb the wall again. But it dies down on the warning track, still deep enough to advance Pat Monteith to third.
Yeah, you really have to hit it deep and left to advance a runner to third base. And he did. Here is Jordan Holiday hitting 300, 10 homers, 33 RBIs. The infield plays back, even though there's a runner at third, 1 out. There's a called strike, 0-1. It's early in the game, so generally you don't want to bring the infield in and have a big inning occur. So a ground ball to a middle infielder could score a run here. Swing and a miss, 0-2. So Gonzalez says, you know what, I want to get a strikeout here. Forget about allowing him to put it in play. Gonzalez, the Oceanside, California native, standing at 6'3". Deals the 0-2, and that misses low. 1-2. Jax Cash is on deck. No wind tonight, just very comfortable. Breaking ball grounded foul at third base side. Still 1-2.
Halliday yesterday with a double and a walk before we saw Zach Zara replace him.
1-2 again, grounded to short. This will bring home the run as Anderson throws out Holiday, but Monteith scores. And that's an unearned run to make it 1-0 North Greenville.
Well, the way that Reese Fields is pitching early on for North Greenville, that's a big run to put them out ahead.
RBI for Holiday. And now Jax Cash hitting 344, 3 homers, 26 RBIs. Number 8 hitter. So you go all the way through this lineup, you have players who can produce with a bat all the way through.
NGU already has made Point Loma pay for that infield error.
Sure did. And they were executing a deep fly ball and then a ground out. So they have not picked up a base hit in this inning, yet they have a run. 1-0 to Cash. Big curve fouled on the right side. 1-1. Cash, who used to go to get catching lessons from his head coach, Landon Powell, the former Major League catcher. Transferred from the University of South Carolina to North Greenville. Of course, Landon Powell, a former player at University of South Carolina in the College World Series.
Joe, you'll see a lot of golden chains whenever you look into that dugout of NGU, as well as around the neck here of Cash. Some superstitions for this team.
Line drive, center field, base hit. Well, those superstitions are working as Cash is now 6 for 10 in this tournament. And that is the first hit of the game for North Greenville. I'm going to bring up Corey Bivens, the number 9 man, hitting 325, 11 homers and 50 RBIs.
Again with 2 outs. Cash looking to extend the inning. See if they can find insurance.
Curveball called, strike 0-1. Cash off to a decent lead at first base, being held over there by Christian. High fly ball into right center field. Alvarez coming over. And that does it for the Crusaders in the second, but they get a run unearned because of an error by Anderson. They leave a runner. At the end of 2, North Greenville 1, Point Loma nothing.
With North Greenville taking care of business last night, that meant that Reese Fields, their pitcher of the year in the Conference Carolinas, was set to go here with a national championship on the line. 5 strikeouts through the first 2 innings, as he's been able to strand 3 base runners so far for Point Loma. And he has now been rewarded with a lead to work with as of the bottom of the second, when Pat Monteith, after reaching on air, was able to come home on the RBI ground out by Jordan Halliday. Lincoln Rose, Joe Castellano with you. We move on to the 3rd inning. North Greenville has every desire to end the 2022 Division II baseball season tonight here in Cary. Point Loma hoping to force one more day.
They're going to do that. They're going to have to figure out a way to either hit the slider of Fields or lay off of it.
Here's Otto Kemp, struck out back in the first. So here in this 61st game has not quite extended that streak to 61 of games reaching base safely. He's got time. Kemp, first team all-conference out of Fullerton. All-region 3rd baseman from the West. Point Loma last year, 11-21 their record. It's a 40-win improvement already just to be playing in this ball game. And a bat that is first tossed into the mesh, and it is caught. I don't believe that's recorded as an out.
Chucked the bat out of there.
That's a heads-up play.
Much safer with that screen over there, because that would have been dangerous in the stands.
That is Cade Spikes, who's able to play this one off the net. With a baseball in the other hand.
Is that like at Wrigley?
You get an ice cream sandwich for a foul ball. I don't know what you get for a bat.
I think it's like Wrigley when they throw the ball back. If it's the opposing team hitting a homer, if it's the opposing bat, you throw it out like that.
Otto did get his bat back. Behind in the count here, 1-2. Right side, Halliday. And that is a big out to record, keeping the leadoff man off base for a second time.
The shortstop, number 3, Scott Anderson.
Gives way to Scott Anderson. Scott struck out back in the first. Had the throwing miscue that ultimately allowed Monteith to reach and subsequently score last half inning. This from your Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac West this year, Anderson. 9 home runs for Scott coming into this week, including a memorable walk-off against Hawaii Pacific this year. This one towards the gap. Central have to track it down in the warning track. It'll be a stand-up double for Scott Anderson. Tying run in scoring position for Point Loma.
Nice little dance over there, trying to redeem himself after the throwing error. And I would say that he did right there as he smashes it into the gap. And I was talking about how they haven't had a lot of extra base hits, but that ball went zooming to the wall.
And he reaches in front of the first team All-American Baxter Halligan, who we saw pitch a gem in that victory against Rollins earlier today. Now just focuses on swinging a bat as the DH. Tying run in scoring position.
What was that dance? Was that the sea lion dance that Anderson was doing?
I have a feeling you'll get to look at it again.
That's a sea lion, because that's the sea, I think.
First pitch to Halligan, who again not only was your pitcher of the year in the region and conference, was your player of the year in both. By some accounts, your national pitcher of the year in Division II.
I think Rick Cacciatore, the home plate umpire, was hearing it from Landon Howell a little bit on that ball call.
Never
Landon
too
Powell.
early.
Yeah. Landon Powell's been all over the umpires on some of those calls.
Coach Powell, again, longtime catcher, constantly fighting for his pitchers throughout his career, and now as a head coach. As Jax Cash is his ambassador behind home plate. The double from Scott Anderson. A 1-1 count here to Baxter Halligan. As he faces Reese Fields after singling off Fields back in the first, but was left on base. One and two.
Coach Powell told us that in January he never thought that his pitching staff would be this good. Didn't think they had the depth, but they do. They have 16 different pitchers that recorded a win this year, so they've really improved. You got to give credit to the pitching coach, Hunter Dilworth, former NGU pitcher who is in his first year as the pitching coach.
Tying run on second, Anderson in your picture there. 1-2 to Halligan from Fields. They'll do it again. In Point Loma, first game today was noon Eastern. 7 hours later, playing their second game of the day with a little bit of rest. Just gave them a few more hours to think about this matchup. North Greenville did not know their opponent until the final out. That was a game in the bottom of the ninth that could have gone either way. This one playable in foul territory for Monteith. And that's out number two.
Lots of room in foul territory on both sides of the lines and even behind the plate, so that helps out a pitcher.
All right, is this where Hunter Ochin offensively gets back on track? Retired his last 9 at-bats. Your cleanup hitter for Point Loma, and a big spot with 2 outs early in this one. Anderson still on second after his 1-out double. See some of the Ochin family right behind him.
It's going to take discipline here to lay off some of these sliders. But every once in a while, he mixes in a fastball too. You got to be ready for that.
Point Loma stranded 1 in the first, 2 in the second. A runner in scoring position right now for their cleanup hitter Ochin, who's 0 for 1 today in this ball game. 2-1. Hunter probably thought that one was a little high and outside.
That was a borderline call.
With 2 outs, tying run on second. Count progresses to 2-2. Down by 1 here in the top of the third. 2-2 right side, Octavio. Not enough on the throw. It was a slow roller and a casual toss to first. And the Sea Lions have runners on the corners.
And that's why a guy like Ochin, if he just puts the ball in play, sometimes he can beat something like that out because he just runs so hard to first base. Look at him. He's just tearing out for first base and clearly was safe. Good call by the first base umpire, Ray Chamberlain.
Well, of course, hustle is how Ochin breaks a streak going 0 for 9.
Yeah.
So runners on the corners. Here's Jacob Christian. Christian, your freshman of the year and first team all-conference in the Pac-West. San Diego native. Struck out looking last inning. Not going to be guilty of that there. A big cut.
He's got the only Point Loma home run here, and he took a big rip right there looking for another one. Hit his homer against Southern Arkansas.
Had 2 hits earlier today against Rollins, was also hit by a pitch. Scored one of the 2 runs in that 2-0 victory. You get the feeling you are going to hear feedback from one side of this venue or the other about every single pitch. Runners on the corners. Tying run is 90 feet away for Point Loma. And a must-win game tonight in Cary. The one-out double from Scott Anderson. He's on third after the inning-extending single from Ochin.
Let's go, Loma! Let's go, Loma! Let's go, Loma!
The 1-2.
That looked like a mistake right there. Maybe a backup slider. But he couldn't capitalize.
Here we go, JC!
The 6'4" freshman, Christian. Reese Fields, 5 strikeouts over the first 2 innings. This would be a big one if he could find number 6 here. Got a piece of it.
That looked like the cutter, and that has some pretty good movement on it away from a right-handed batter.
Again, Reese Fields, your pitcher of the year in the Conference Carolinas. The ideal man for North Greenville here, with a national championship within reach. Right now, clinging to a 1-run lead early. Not going to add another backwards K at the expense of Jacob Christian, at least not yet.
Good at bat right here. Freshman at the plate. Lots of savvy.
Semester's over. Let's call him a sophomore.
Okay. He's a big guy, too. 6'4", 225.
2 on, 2 out, trying to extend the third inning and at least find the tying run. Got him. Reese Fields strands 2 more Sea Lions. Through 3 innings of work, 6 strikeouts, and 5 Point Loma men left on base. Sun setting on the 2022 Division II baseball season. Now, Point Loma, their fans back on the West Coast were having breakfast and baseball earlier today, enjoying a 2-0 victory. Right about now, tuning in during work. Here's Greg Octavio, 0 for 1 today against Jack Gonzalez in his 3rd inning of work, and very little room for error as you see the Octavio family from Hawaii It's been a good week for a couple of Hawaiians. There's that Jocelyn Allo lady in Norman, Oklahoma, claiming a national title yesterday. The home run queen in NCAA softball from Hawaii. So Octavio Stringer and John Michael Fail, top third of the order, due up here in the third, looking for insurance. And a one hopper to the catcher Waterman. And Point Loma managed 2 runs against Rollins in that earlier game, a very well-pitched game by both teams. But not a lot of offense to be had for the Sea Lions. Wonder how many runs will be needed here. Out to left, Malone. And that's just a good old-fashioned boring catch from Jack Malone. Doesn't have to leave his feet or rip a new hole in those pants.
Left fielder, number 4, Ethan Stringer.
Ethan Stringer flied out to center back in the first. 0 for 1 today. Ethan yesterday against Westchester, a couple of walks, a couple of runs scored, an RBI single thrown into the mix as well, officially 1 for 3. As they took care of the Golden Rams. And by doing so, gave themselves a little advantage against either Point Loma or Rollins, whoever would survive from that half. Rollins was going to have to play 7 games this week if they were going to be national champion. North Greenville can get it done in 4 if they can find a victory tonight. John Michael Fail already has reached base once today. On deck. 2-0 from Gonzalez. Stringer, the Kentucky native, in his final year. It's an interesting feeling. If you win, you may have just cut your career short by a day, but I think it's probably worth it.
You got to win when you can.
National championship within reach. And that's a walk with 1 out to Ethan Stringer.
Well, his first walk didn't hurt him back in the first inning. The error by his shortstop Anderson in the second inning did hurt him.
Well, that first inning walk was to this man, John Michael Fail, coming up.
You just don't want to miss over the middle of the plate against this guy.
Out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina. From Boiling Springs High, first team all-conference again this year. And a move over to first to keep Stringer honest.
He's normally the catcher, but after knee surgery, he's serving as a DH, and he's not moving around the bases all that well most of the time.
And Jax Cash, obviously, very capable behind the plate.
But they're just fortunate to have him in the lineup. They weren't even expecting him to be able to play because of the knee surgery less than 2 weeks before the start of this tournament. 2-time All-American.
Yeah, lost him during the conference tournament. Count 1-1.
Tore his meniscus in the first inning of the first game, rounding first base.
Not recommended.
No. But Landon Powell, the head coach of North Greenville, knows all about knee injuries. He twice tore his ACL and had to come back from that as a major league player.
Runner on first, Ethan Stringer, after his 1-out walk. North Greenville trying to find insurance. Still early in this one. Jack Gonzalez gets the starting nod for Point Loma here tonight. Second game of the day against a second opponent for the Sea Lions. And this will drop down for Fail. Going from first to third is Stringer. It'll be another base hit this week for John Michael Fail in his return. Appreciated by his teammate, Ethan Stringer. All that he knows his teammate has gone through to be here.
He has been inspirational to the entire team. 7 of 14 now in the tournament. And he does this a lot where he'll go into right center, stay on the pitch. Doesn't try to pull it.
Again, moving his teammate from first to third. So runners on the corners now for Merritt Kloop. 0 for 1 today with a ground down to the left side. That ended the first inning. That one breaks in there for a strike. Again, Kloop, the fourth-year junior who actually started his college career just down the road at North Carolina State with the Wolfpack. Point Loma actually spent some time this week in their weight room training during their time off. Backhanded snag, that's a fair ball. It'll score a run, but somehow Otto Kemp secures an out before it's all said and done. So Ethan Stringer makes it 2-0 for North Greenville, but Otto Kemp does it again.
Wow, what a play. And he thought about trying to throw to second base and still had time to get it to first, barely. He's barely got that out, but look at that. That's just fair. The umpire to get out of the way right there. That's Steve Zawiski. And the run scores while that great play was made.
Look, it's one thing for him just to have kept that ball in the infield, but to still have enough to fire that to first and get the out, impressive. But Stringer comes home. John Michael Fail now on second. And here's Pat Monteith.
Seen a lot of special defensive plays today by Point Loma. That's one of them.
Mentioned Monteith's exploits yesterday with a grand slam. Now in an 0-2 hole. Both pitchers getting a little bit of wiggle room around that strike zone. I do believe that John Michael Fail was asked, where did that pitch look from out there on second base? Relaying, yeah, it's close. 1-2. So Ethan Stringer did score on that fantastic play otherwise by Otto Kemp. John Michael Fail could otherwise easily be standing on third if not at home. With 2 on, instead just 1 on with 2 out. Fifth batter this inning, as this frame began with the top of the order. Fly out, walk, single, and most recently that ground out that scored the run. 2-2. We don't anticipate John Michael Fail will be running. There's still limitations to that repaired knee. Alvarez in center. Ochin in right. This is Ochin's ball, out number 3. But North Greenville doubles its lead. A run in the second, matched by a run here in the third. Through 3, the number 1 seed leads by 2 here in Cary. Oh, we certainly missed postseason baseball in 2020. Last year's national championship resides here in the state of North Carolina. The fans of Tigerville, South Carolina would like to carefully escort this year's trophy just across the state line.
Number 2, Easton Waterman.
Lincoln Rose, Joe Castellano with you. Top half of the 4th inning as NGU, the home team tonight, has scored in each of the last 2 innings. Here's Easton Waterman set to lead things off in the 4th. He walked back in the 2nd inning. One of 5 men that the Sea Lions had left stranded on the base paths. Waterman, the senior out of Redding, California. Again, he has caught every single inning in today's doubleheader against 2 different opponents. And now in an 0-2 hole against Fields. Reese Fields struck out 3 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, and a big 6th strikeout reared its head at the end of the 3rd inning to strand 2 men on for the Sea Lions. At the time, just a 1-0 lead for Fields to work with. So, Joe, even as Fields, so far a shutout, there have not been a lot of quick at-bats.
No, a lot of guys are fouling pitches off or getting into deep counts. It's already up to 71 pitches.
You would welcome a quick 3-pitch at bat here. Waterman in 0-2 hole. This will hang up there. It's carrying. Kloop was playing in too shallow. It's all the way back to the warning track. Easton Waterman with a leadoff double. First man for the Sea Lions to reach with fewer than an out.
But it looked like finally a hanging breaking ball from Fields here. And Waterman just took care of it. His eyes got big. Delivers his 8th hit in 13 at-bats in this tournament. This guy has been on a roll. Little different version of that Sea Lions dance.
Here's Jack Malone. Popped out to the shortstop back in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 in this ball game. Let's see if he can move his teammate a little closer to coming home. Point Loma has out-hit North Greenville 4-2. Obviously, that's not the most important column on the scoreboard. Now, for the folks who made it here to cheer on PLNU, a little bit taller of a task. You had to plan a little farther in advance than perhaps the parade that we saw make its way from Tigerville. This one out to Stringer, 1 away. Once that win was secured last night, and North Greenville was guaranteed either a title tonight or a 2nd game tomorrow, word quickly spread, and a few more folks took advantage of the free admission here.
Not a productive out there for Jack Malone. He much rather would have hit a ground ball to the right side. Try to get that runner over to 3rd.
Here's Jason Dumont, who walked back in the 2nd inning. Facing Fields for a 2nd time. Fields walked 2 in the 2nd. Was able to use a strikeout to get out of the jam. 4th straight inning, Point Loma has at least 1 runner on. 3rd straight inning, they've had a man in scoring position. Dumont, 3rd-team All-Conference, the Portland native. Whips around the offering from Fields, foul.
Jack's Cash gets all the pitch calls from the dugout, and Landon Powell taking a long look in there this time. Then he puts down the sign.
3rd batter of this inning, 1 on, 1 out. The 0-2 from Reese Fields. First he'll wheel around as Waterman has his attention. Second base umpire Drew Eaton right on top of that play. lays off the 0-2. I think fans are still filing in here as things continue to fill out.
Beautiful Friday evening here in Cary.
Whip down the line, but foul.
I mean, sometimes when you hit a ball that hard, you get a good feeling that at least you're on top of it, even if you hit it foul. Getting his exercise in right there.
Leadoff single from Waterman, stands on second. Count stays 1-2 after fighting a couple off. Top half of the fourth, tying run at the plate for the Sea Lions. The 1-2 from Fields. Got him. Strikeout number 7. As another Sea Lion caught looking.
Another great breaking ball there. Fields has really been able to snap these off with late break. That's a curveball. It didn't hit the target exactly that Jack's Cash put up, but he framed it well, and it was a strike.
So just like that, 2 outs for Alvarez, the number 9 hitter, who struck out to end the second inning with 2 men on. Sea Lions at risk of straining their 6th base runner through 4 innings. Alvarez thought he might be able to bunt for a base hit. Well, playing earlier in the day, not so much an issue for the hitters. You imagine may even benefit them early on with having a rhythm. The arms were the question at this point. 0-2.
Well, that looked like one of the more hittable breaking balls from Reese Fields.
Nine-hole hitter trying to turn this lineup over for Otto Kemp, who's still trying to reach base for his 61st consecutive game this year. The 0-2. Alvarez able to lay off that one.
Overthrew that one a little bit.
And last year, North Greenville exited the NCAA tournament in the regional, playing local powerhouses like Wingate and Columbus State. They returned the favor this year, hosting Columbus State in the Super Regional. Runner on second, Waterman with 2 outs. The 1-2.
Good take right there. That was a great job laying off that pitch by Alvarez.
With a 2-run lead, Reese Fields stares into the glove of Jack's Cash with the 2-2.
Oh, yeah.
It's be interesting. You don't want to walk him. You don't want to get to Kemp, even though you've handled him so far. You just don't want to get there. So you throw a fastball right down the middle. Seems like he's been really confident to throw the slider for strikes or even to get hitters to chase.
And Waterman on second, looking to cut into a 2-run deficit. The payoff pitch with 2 outs. And finally elicits a swing from Alvarez as he finds it foul.
They went breaking ball there.
8 teams arrived in Cary, North Carolina. We had as many as 3 a few hours ago. We are finally down to the last 2. A national championship within reach. Again with 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Left slide, slow roller from Monteith. He's got the arm. And the Sea Lions will strand another. Pat Monteith over to Halliday. And it's a 2-run lead, still intact, as NGU will look for more insurance in the home half of the 4th on this Friday night. Back to the home half as North Greenville occupying the home dugout tonight. Hoping to take care of business here in 2022. Center. A charge in this one. It'll drop in front of Malone. No chance for a heroic catch that time, as Josh Center becomes the second North Greenville man to lead off an inning by reaching base.
And this is where, even though it's a left-handed pitcher, you still have to be aware that Center is a big-time base stealer. 27 out of 29 on stolen bases this year. I'm sure he has stolen some of those against lefties.
Jordan Holliday drove home the first run for North Greenville today, back in the 2nd inning on a ground out. Comes up here with Center on first.
Tested his jump a little bit right there.
Holliday out of Sumter, South Carolina, the 4th-year junior. Nice job by Waterman to keep that ball in front of him. Added pressure on Jack Gonzalez, as his offense has not been able to produce. They've stranded 6 runners so far in this ball game. So it's up to him to keep these bats of NGU at bay. Another talented lefty on the mound tonight for Point Loma. Runner is going. Waterman with the throw, opposite side of the bag, and it's a stolen base for Josh Center, as Joe Warren has some speed.
That's the first stolen base against Point Loma in this tournament. There'd only been 1 attempt until that one. This is a quick throw down to second, but not accurate enough.
Lot going on there. The 3-1. And a walk 1 pitch later. Jordan Holliday is on. 2 base runners for NGU with nobody out, making way for Jax Cash. The single from Center, the walk from Holliday.
Do they bunt here with Cash? He's been a good hitter swinging the bat. But if you bunt, try to get 2 men into scoring position, that's a possibility too.
He's singled in the 2nd.
He's got 5 sacked bunts this season, tied for the team lead.
Corner infielders are playing even with the bags. Double play depth up the middle. Cash puts the bunt down. Gonzalez has to wheel and deal, cannot get it there. An infield single for Jax Cash. Bases loaded with nobody out for North Greenville.
Well, it's just a win-win. When you can punt like that and you have speed, even though you're a catcher, you have a great chance to beat it out. And that pitch was so down low, it almost hit the ground. He still got it down and then beats it out easily.
Well, on top of that, again, Gonzalez has to field it, and he's a lefty, which means he has to spin to make that throw. You see Nathan Garco, their number 4 pitcher, warming up. He's had a great career. Will he have to come on tonight instead of tomorrow? First pitch to Corey Bivens, the 9-hole hitter, as bases are loaded for North Greenville with nobody out. Center on third, Halliday on second, Cash on first. 2 singles with a walk sandwiched in between. Now North Greenville is even on base hits with Point Loma. They have scored 1 run each of the last 2 innings. Looking to add to that here with a crooked number in the 4th. Left side, there's a force at home. No double play to be had, but North Greenville unable to add to their lead. 1 away.
That's a big out because now you can get out of it with a double play.
Top of the order, second baseman number 1, Garrett Octavia.
And Waterman made the right choice not to fire it down to the first just for the sake of making that throw. That ball gets away and 2 more runs come home. Everybody else is advanced. Base is still loaded. Now 1 out for the top of the order. As Waterman knocks it down.
It's the kind of guy who has the speed that if he hits a ground ball, it's going to be really hard to double him up.
Holiday now on third, Cash on second, Bivens on first after the fielder's choice. Octavio 0 for 2. 1-0 offering from Gonzalez. The 2-0. In top of the order here for North Greenville. Stringer on deck, John Michael Fail in the hole. Sea Lions hoping for a double play ball. That was a Rollins specialty in our earlier game. 3 double plays against the Sea Lions in the first 3 innings. 3-1. Again, Gonzalez, the 5th-year senior. Facing the 5th-year senior at the plate. And this is unlikely to budge any of the base runners. Ball caught in foul territory by Christian to away.
Would have been infield fly rule if it was fair, but it was foul.
And we saw the indication given.
Now batting left fielder, number 4, Ethan Stringer.
Can Jack Gonzalez get out of this inning without any runs scoring? After 3 men had reached with nobody out. Here's Stringer. Walked and scored last inning. The last NGU runner to touch home. Holiday on third. Cash second, Bivens on first. Stringer sits back on this one, down the line, and it's Malone doing it again. Jack Malone reporting for duty, another sensational diving catch this week in Cary. Bases loaded.
Unbelievable. I mean, that was better than the other catches he made. I think that was a full-length dive. I don't know how he kept his glove under that, hitting the ground, and kept the ball in his glove before it could hit the ground. That was amazing.
Sea Lions still within 2. Under the lights on this Friday evening, a national champion could be crowned tonight, depending on the outcome of this ball game. Jack Malone, though, helping keep that outcome very much in doubt. Both starting pitchers still going strong in this one. Reese Fields back on the mound for North Greenville. To the top of the order for Point Loma. They have stranded 6 base runners. They've had at least one man on every inning. And here's Otto Kemp, who's 0 for 2 this game.
How many catches can you make in one day? Apparently at least 3.
If we listed the top 10 catches this week, Malone probably has 3 of the top 5 at least, and that may have been number 1.
Yeah, that was amazing how far he came. He got a great jump on that, too.
So again, Otto Kemp, 61 games now, including tonight. He reached base safely the first 60. Can he make it 61? As he tries to set the table here in the 5th.
Well, went 4 for 4 with an intentional walk in the first game, but 0 for 2 in this game today.
Yeah, he was a singles machine in that game against Rollins earlier. 61 for 61. A solo stroke from Otto Kemp, who has reached base safely in all 61 games this year. With that said, he's not going to be on the bases for long. Otto Kemp will touch them all. And he has cut the deficit in half.
He's got the hard hat, and he may not act like a leadoff hitter all the time. You know, the getting on base stat says this guy's a great leadoff hitter, but how about the power? That ball got out of here quickly. That's his 17th home run of the year. This guy leads the team in RBIs with 62 now, so he's more than just a leadoff hitter.
This after North Greenville left bases loaded, and one pitch later, Scott Anderson has his second hit. Well, we mentioned Reese Fields, though he'd been pitching a shutout, was having to work deep into counts, and you wonder if now the 3rd time through the lineup, the Sea Lions are catching up.
Yeah, I just wondered if Fields would start to run out of gas now at 92 pitches here in the 5th inning. Only the 2nd home run hit by Point Loma in this tournament, the other one off the bat of Christian.
Here's Baxter Halligan, your winning pitcher from earlier today. That's his side hustle. This is his full-time job. 1 for 2 in this ball game. Monteith. 1 out as Anderson moves down to 2nd.
That throw was a little wide, and Holliday was fortunate that he was able to catch it with a runner coming right at him.
Right fielder, number 20, Hunter Ocean.
Well, you like to get that tying run in scoring position, but you also hate to give up Halligan, the number 3 hitter, swinging the bat. It's kind of a tough choice there, I guess.
The Cary chapter of the Hunter Ocean Fan Club saw him beat out a single last time up in the 3rd. 4th man up this inning. Tying run in scoring position. Home run from Otto Kemp has cut the deficit in half. Scott Anderson on 2nd after his single and moving forward on the ground out. 1 away here for Ocean.
If he gets a hit here, kids all over San Diego will be emulating his in-between pitch routine. Maybe.
Soak it in. Tying run in scoring position, the 2-0.
There's that slider again that was so effective earlier, and it's helped him get 7 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. Some activity in the North Greenville bullpen.
3-1. Fields has been able to pitch out of some jams this ball game. And he come through again here in the 5th and limit the damage to just the 1 run. The 3-1 to Hunter Ochin. Three men have reached here in the 5th. One has come home. You see Brent Herlong again in the bullpen. Up next, Jacob Christian, twice a strikeout victim of Reese Fields, who has struck out 7 so far. And a visit to the mound from the pitching coach.
Yeah, Hunter Dilworth, the first-year pitching coach, former NGU pitcher. Trying to settle down Fields here. Up to 98 pitches, and you wonder how much he has left in the tank. They'd love to at least get him through this inning. Just threw so many pitches early on while he was enjoying getting those strikeouts. Those were having him expend a lot of energy.
Yeah, it all adds up.
Nate Roof with a baseball throwing, right-hander.
This inning began with Otto Kemp extending an unfathomable streak of reaching base safely in every single game, 61 games this year. And boy, did he ever, emphatically with a home run. So the first visit to the mound complete from Hunter Dilworth.
It was a ball that got out of here quickly.
A single, a ground out, and a walk have followed, leading to this at bat for Jacob Christian with 1 out. Tying run on second, go-ahead run on first. But Fields has gotten the better of the first 2 meetings with Jacob Christian.
He has struck out looking and swinging. Christian shaking his head. He knew that was kind of a hittable breaking ball, right over the middle.
Two on, 1 out. And Christian in an 0-2 hole.
Then he swings at the unhittable slider.
On deck, Easton Waterman, who has a double and a walk today. But first, Christian, seeing if he can tie up this ball game or maybe even more. The 0-2 from Reese Fields. And no favors done by Christian that time.
It's a tough spot when you're behind in the count like this. You're trying not to strike out, but also you don't want to hit a ground ball right at a middle infielder and have a double play that ends the inning.
And Christian, your freshman of the year in the Pac West. First team all conference as well. A 1-run ball game. Got him for a 3rd time. Reese Fields just needs 1 more out to maintain a 1-run lead.
8 strikeouts in the first 5 innings.
catcher, number 2, Easton Waterman.
Just went with a breaking ball there. Didn't have a lot of break, but it fooled him.
So while Fields has had success at the expense of Christian, Waterman has reached both times against Reese Fields. A walk in the second, a double in the fourth. Each time was left on base. 6 runners have been left on by the Sea Lions, trying to find a way to erase a 2-run deficit. They've already done a bit of the lifting with the home run from Kemp. A first pitch strike from Fields.
Waterman has been so locked in, 8 for 13 in this tournament, 4 walks. Been their best hitter.
And that's Anderson, the runner on second. Ochen's behind him on first. Reese Fields hasn't seemed too concerned by the base runners.
Well, he's left 5 stranded in the first 4 innings.
Let's go, Eve! Let's go, Loma!
And now gets a second strike on Waterman. A 9th strikeout would do the trick here for Fields. Maintain the narrowest of advantages on this Friday night.
It's actually left 6 stranded. I missed one there, so 6. He's trying to leave 2 more.
Yeah, a couple in the second, couple in the third. Threatening to strand a pair here in the 5th. And Otto Kemp got all of this jump started. Point Loma working its way through the lineup for the 3rd time against Reese Fields. The 1-2. They'll do it again. Well, we mentioned understandably a slightly larger crowd from the folks who had a reasonable drive from Tigerville, South Carolina, but right now, Point Loma fans are the optimistic vocal majority.
Let's go, Loma! Let's go, Loma! Let's go, Loma!
Good
2-2.
take. Good take. It's a fastball, but he knew that was low.
Let's go, Waterman!
Anderson singled, Ochen walked. There are your 2 base runners for Point Loma. Anderson 180 feet away, give or take, from tying this ball game up. The 2-2 pending here with 2 outs to Easton Waterman from Reese Fields.
Let's go, Loma!
Back to Fields. And a lead still intact. But Otto Kemp has put Point Loma on the board. A leadoff solo blast here in the 5th to jumpstart the comeback efforts for Point Loma. Well, I'm sure Point Loma would have loved to be throwing him tomorrow, but Nathan Garco, your senior, what a stellar career he has had. Certainly helped secure the PacWest Championship in Fresno. For Garco, 13th appearance this year, all starts. A 4.42 ERA, 2 opposing hitters hitting .263 through 55 innings of work, 64 strikeouts. Only has 4 decisions, 2 wins and 2 losses. Comes in with Point Loma trying to keep it a narrow window for a comeback, right now trailing by 1.
Well, Jack Gonzalez did a pretty good job for 4 innings. Just the 1 earned run, 2 runs allowed, only 4 hits. He walked 3 and struck out just 1, but pitched on 3 days rest. So he gave them a valiant effort for the first 4. Now we'll see what Garco does.
It'll be John Michael Fail leading things off for North Greenville. Boy, there is no break for opposing pitchers in this lineup for NGU. So, Fail, Kloop, and Monteith due up. John Michael today already with a walk and a single.
Garko, he has been a starter, so this is an unusual position for him to be in here.
Well, it's going to be long relief, and they figured he's their guy.
First relief appearance of the season. Hasn't pitched since May the 11th. It's been a month.
That NGU lead trimmed to 1. Remember, they had bases loaded last inning. But a diving catch by Jack Malone in left field kept all 3 of those men on the base paths.
By the way, the last time Garko pitched, he struck out 11 in 6 2/3 innings against Fresno Pacific.
That would help them clinch the title. Got a golden goat dangling around the neck of John Michael Fail. Mentioned a lot of his teammates have embraced a variety of gold chains. They have a fun dynamic with one of their assistant coaches. Fifth pitch from Garko, a 3-1. Count goes full.
Fail was ready to toss that bat.
Garko's ready to go. The payoff pitch. This one poke foul. I realized after assuming it'd go foul, I was undercutting Jack Malone's capability perhaps of tracking that down, climbing a wall, pulling it back.
You talk about range out there.
But instead, I think that's a local Little Leaguer from the Tigerville area. Come out to support NGU. Again, the 3-2. Got him. Garko's first batter faced a big one. Able to pass that test with the strikeout.
Well, he's throwing a really good changeup right there. That ball just dies when it gets to home plate. And you can see this completely off balance is Fail. Look at that thing die. It's kind of like the Trevor Hoffman changeup that used to be thrown in San Diego for the Padres by the Hall of Famer.
All right, here's Merritt Kloop. Couple of ground outs to the left side, but the more recent ground out, productive, an RBI in the third, and that right now is your difference in this ball game, as he brought Ethan Stringer home. Garko's been itching to get back on that rubber.
Yeah, it's been a month. I mean, everything that's going on, he wants to contribute. He looks like he has 2 pitches, slow and slower. But, I mean, if you're going to throw a changeup with that kind of movement, hitters are going to have a tough time connecting on it.
And last one, 71 miles per hour. Kloop left side, gets through, base hit. 5th hit of the ball game. First of the day for Merritt Kloop, your conference player of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he normally hits so much better than he has shown here, but took care of that breaking ball right there. Nice job just staying balanced at the plate.
And again, Pat Monteith, always one mistake pitch away from taking a trot around the base paths. He reached on an error back in the second and would score before the end of the frame. Officially 0 for 2 today.
Got some solid guys in this lineup. You look at, they just look like they're in such great shape. Fail, Kloop, Monteith.
Monteith, just a sophomore last year, your conference freshman of the year. He'll ask for time.
They're intimidating when they step in there.
Third batter this inning, Pat Monteith. 1 on, 1 out.
Both of these head coaches call all the pitches. You got Justin James, who was a former pitcher at Point Loma. You got Landon Powell, who's a former Major League catcher. They really know how to call a game.
Coach James, your Pac West and Region Coach of the Year this year with his staff. Landon Powell is sitting on 299 wins. If he finds number 300 this season, it will come with a trophy.
Never would have envisioned it when he took over. The year before he took over, 2014, they were 8-35 at North Greenville.
Just now, the second pitch for Pat Monteith with a runner on, and he'll still have to wait for that second pitch. And Monteith just the all-around player. That arm at third base. Of course, his bat has been on display. As he faces Nathan Garco in his first inning in relief of Gonzalez. 72 miles per hour, 2-0.
You wonder if Kloop might pick a pitch to try to steal on here. He has 30 steals this year in 33 attempts.
Two and one. North Greenville's lead was cut in half last half inning. The solo home run from Otto Kemp, your opposing third baseman. Two and two.
A little surprised that Kloop wouldn't run because this pitcher, Garco, he has a leg kick. He does not have a slide step delivery. He's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches too, so that would give you an opportunity to run.
Run on first again. Merritt Kloop had the one-out single. He's been there. While watching Pat Monteith work the count to a 2-2.
Garco's thinking the same way. This guy might run. That's why he's checking him back there.
Want to clock his throw over to first. See if it's any faster than his delivery home. Count goes full.
I really expect him to go here on a full count.
Pat Monteith at the plate with a one-run lead. The bottom of the fifth. The runner is going. And a foul ball as it just graces the barrel of the bat of Monteith.
Hey, Garco!
Monteith, the pride of Charleston, South Carolina, second-team All-Conference this year. Again, the payoff pitch with Kloop, the runner on first. Going again. Got him. Strike him out. Throw to the opposite side of the bag. 2 away. And they will get
He slid off the bag, I believe.
interference, or coming off the bag there.
Oh, I guess they're going to say interference on the batter. Interference on Monteith. Let's take a look. Yeah, he got in the way of that throw from Waterman.
So, double play. Get out of the inning. Still a one-run affair. Well, it's day 7 with our tremendous crew here in Cary, North Carolina. There you're looking at Darian. Of course, our guy Ivan. Mitchell. And pardon me, Galen out there. And then there's our guy. Mitchell's out there so often. Thanks to Colby as well as Drew, Craig, Will, and Thomas. It's always a fun week. And certainly have enjoyed our teammates year in, year out here in North Carolina.
Good job by everybody. Reese Fields has to leave after 108 pitches. 5 strong innings, 1 run, 6 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. And now Nate Roof out of the bullpen. Roof has appeared one other time, went 1 scoreless inning, no hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts.
So neither starting pitcher left. Bottom third of the order, Jack Malone. Jack is 0 for 2 today, but may very well be accountable for Point Loma being within a run. A diving catch out there and left to end a threat from North Greenville. A couple of runs may have scored. Point Loma got its first run of the ball game last inning. The solo shot from Otto Kemp, who may have a chance to swing a bat again this inning if anybody can reach.
Roof has had a really good season, 2-0, 2.81 ERA, 39 strikeouts, only 7 walks in 25 2/3 innings, and opponents are only hitting 174 against him.
The 1-2 from Roof. And Malone caught looking, strike 3. A nice start for the first man out of the bullpen tonight for North Greenville.
That's 9 strikeouts for their pitchers today.
The second baseman, number 11, Jason Dumont.
Jason Dumont has walked and struck out. That was all against Reese Fields. Comes back here in the 6th inning with 1 out, nobody on. Of course, represents the tying run at the plate right now. A charge into right, that'll drop. Dumont on for a second time, his first base hit tonight. See if the bottom third can produce.
Going up against the most dominant reliever this season for North Greenville in Nate Roof. His fastball gets up to 94. He's got a great slider, but he did miss time. He missed the regional and the super regional because he had mono. So recovering from that, getting back here for the Division II baseball championship.
Isaiah Alvarez 0 for 2. 9-hole hitter for Point Loma. Point Loma has again out-hit North Greenville. 1 run on 7 hits. They've stranded 8 base runners through the first 5 innings. There has been no 3 up, 3 down for North Greenville pitching. Back last half inning, with the interference call, was the first time we saw a pitcher face the minimum.
There's been a lot of activity, but not a lot of scoring. Seen 14 men left on base.
This is after Point Loma extended their season and knocked off Rollins with a 2-0 victory earlier today.
That was similar to this game, really. I mean, it seems like one mistake can cost you when it's this close, or one key play, one clutch play in the field, or one clutch hit.
Rollins had the tying run on base and the game-winning run at the plate.
Yeah, and a bullet to third ended the game. Off the bat of Heron.
Yeah, to the glove of Otto Kemp. That ball slips away, and on that, Dumont will move down to second. Was not initially going.
I think that's going to be a wild pitch. That was up and in.
How great was Jax Cash yesterday in that game against Westchester? Full of nice defensive efforts.
Now a base hit could tie the game.
Otto Kemp in his home run is on deck. You like his chances of being able to bat now after Dumont eliminated the threat of a typical double play. 2-2. Your 9-hole hitter for Point Loma was all conference. Hitting better than 300 on the year, the senior Alvarez. And today a strikeout and a ground out. Little check swing back to the pitcher Roof. 2 away. It does advance the runner. Roof was mindful of that runner, but really had no choice.
And it brings about an interesting thought for Kemp. Yes, he did homer his last time up, and he's got power. And he can drive the ball to all fields and try to drive that run in. But also, he probably is cognizant of where the third baseman Monteith is playing, or even the first baseman Holiday, because if he lays down a bunt and gets a base hit out of it, that would tie the game. Those infielders right now are showing that they're going to play deep. They might be talking about that right now. Beware of the bunt.
This moment doesn't seem too big for Nate Roof. Talking to his catcher, Jax Cash, receiving his information from his catcher with a smile on his face. Fourth batter this inning, top of the order, comes back up here, Otto Kemp.
I mean, Monteith is all the way back at third if he wanted a bunt.
Dumont, the runner on third.
I say that, and if he bunts it too hard, Monteith has a gun for an arm. So you really have to be fast to beat out anything that you do bunt towards him.
An 0-2 count.
Well, that takes away the idea of a bunt. Usually.
Would be surprised to see him square around. Tying run on third. Got him. Nate Roof checks into the ball game in the 6th inning. Point Loma strands another. 9 runners left on base. Still have not been able to erase the deficit as North Greenville clings to a 2-1 lead.
No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1.
Perhaps the next generation of athletes who will make their way through the gates here in Cary, North Carolina. Spectators this time around.
Nice pose.
Point Loma, North Greenville, our last 2 teams still playing baseball in Division II. Nathan Garco faced the minimum in the 5th despite conceding a single. Here's Josh Center, who fights the first pitch foul. 1 for 2 today. Center wound up being forced out at home in an inning in which North Greenville stranded bases loaded back in the 4th. But Point Loma has not been able to completely close what was a 2-run deficit.
We've had chances every inning. Point Loma has.
The 0-2 from Garco. Second straight inning, Nathan Garco begins with a strikeout added to the resume.
Well, he has struck out 3 of his first 4 batters. That time just putting it right on the corner with an 87-mile-an-hour fastball. And that looks really fast after you're seeing some of his changeups.
Jordan Halliday, an RBI ground out and a walk more recently back in the 4th inning. Your first baseman tonight for North Greenville. We've seen Halliday and Zach Zara take turns over there at first.
Garco really knows how to pitch, the senior from Glendora, California.
Both teams have dipped into their bullpen now once. Lays off that one. Jacob Christian, your first baseman. And Garco in relief of Jack Gonzalez, who went 4 innings. 2-1. By the way, if you spot a bat boy every now and then retrieving a bat for North Greenville, that is Landon Powell's son, Holden, who today is celebrating his 13th birthday, possibly. Maybe we have an idea of what his wish was for Dad to get number 300 and that trophy.
Yeah, national championship. Well, Landon's parents are in attendance too, and they're celebrating their 49th anniversary today. What a day, right?
They hope to add one more thing to remember. Halliday out towards center. Caught on the fly by Alvarez. 2 away.
That's held up for him out there.
Garco has faced 5 and has 5 outs to show for it in relief now. And back to Mr. Cash, who is 2 for 2. He bunted for a base hit successfully in the 4th. Couple of singles today. North Greenville has not trailed. They've led since claiming a run in the 2nd and tacking on 1 in the 3rd.
Think about how special it would be for Landon Powell to win it here, right in the area where he grew up. He went to Apex High School, which is right around the corner from this ballpark.
Anderson airmails it, but Jacob Christian is there to squeeze it and bring it back down to earth. So the 6, 7, 8 hitters for North Greenville unable to add to the lead. It remains a drama-filled night in Cary. 1 run separating the top 2 seeds contending for a national title.
That's Holden Powell, the son of Landon Powell, the head coach at North Greenville University, and celebrating his 13th birthday. Working as the bat boy, pretty cool.
His grandparents' anniversary.
Right.
And Dad might do something pretty darn special at work.
Does he realize how amazing this is, how unique it is? Nate Roof will go to work here against Scott Anderson, leading off for Point Loma. 2 for 3, a double, a single, and a strikeout. With Point Loma trailing by a run going to the 7th here. Called strike 0-1. Again, Point Loma has to win this game to be able to get to an opportunity to win the national championship tomorrow. For North Greenville, if they win tonight, they are the national champs.
Yeah, losing yesterday to Rollins in that 12-4 ball game set back Point Loma a little bit in terms of the path to the title. Conversely, North Greenville took care of business in their first try against Westchester.
Anderson behind 0-2, pops it in the air into shallow right field. Coming in, the right fielder, Kloop, 1 away. That'll bring up Baxter Halligan, who's 1 for 2, a single. He's popped to 3rd and had a sac bunt. Pitched very well in the first game today. That 2-0 win against Rollins as the starter. Got the win in that game. 14-2 record on the mound. What a year for the All-American. Play him to pull, and the second baseman, Octavio, is out in the outfield grass as he takes the ball 1-0. So Point Loma, they have been able to get base runners, but they've left 9 men on base. They are 1 for 11 with men in scoring position. Got 3 innings to work with. Check swing, that's a strike. 1-1 to Halligan. Hunter Ochin is on deck. Third baseman Monteith is playing about even with a bag at third. Shortstop Bivens playing towards the middle. Outfield straightaway, not playing very deep. Halligan 9 homers this year. Checks his swing again, and he went around for a strike, 1-2.
Yes, such a powerful swing. Could not hold up.
Roof, the redshirt sophomore from Lexington, South Carolina, came in relief in the 6th inning. Gave up a base hit, but left a man on, struck out 2 in that 6th inning. 1-2 to Halligan. Right down the middle, strike 3 called. So he has K'd 3, and that's 11 strikeouts now for the North Greenville pitchers.
Well, we were wondering this late in the week how both teams would be in terms of pitching. Both of them doing quite well.
And I don't think Halligan was looking for that pitch, fastball right down the middle at 91. Here's Hunter Ochin with 2 down and nobody on. He has struck out on an infield single and walked. Trying to get something going for the Sea Lions. A breaking ball down and away, 1-0.
Think Hunter's your starting pitcher tomorrow?
If they make it, he could be. Check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire, Ray Chamberlain, on the appeal. So it's 2-0 to Ochin.
He's got 30 innings of work this year and 13 appearances.
Ochin has hit 11 homers this year. Christian is on deck. The 2-0 to Ochin. In there for a strike. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back, and it's 2-2. Point Loma has out-hit North Greenville 7-5, but they trail by a run on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 9 runners left on base. At least 1 every inning.
The break-even pitch to Ochin. Hit in the left center field. Here comes the center fielder. Center dives, can't get it. Ochin on his way to second. The throw by Springer, not in time. Hunter Ochin is in scoring position with 2 down with a double.
With 2 outs, you know he's going to keep running until he's told he's out. So full speed. I think center misjudged this one out there. Never was going to have a chance to catch it on the fly. And when he lays out for it, Ochin has himself an extra bag on the double.
It was an awkward swing, but he just got it in the right spot in the outfield. Now Jacob Christian, who is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in this game, had a couple of hits earlier today, but he has struggled against North Greenville pitchers. All 3 strikeouts came against starter Reese Fields. So let's see what he does against Roof here for the first time. With a tying run in scoring position and 2 down. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0.
Joe, not only has Point Loma stranded 9 runners, but they have stranded a runner in scoring position every inning except for the first.
Yeah, it's been rough. Again, 1 for 11 with men in scoring position. Can they get a hit here? Second baseman Octavio playing towards the middle. Outfield straight away. Monteith fairly close to the line at third base. Roof ready in the 1-0. In the dirt, blocked by Cash, and he has to corral it. Going back to second, Ochin, he had ideas about third, but you really don't want to take that chance with 2 down because it doesn't mean it as much to get to third with 2 down. And he said, yep, I made the right call right there.
Hunter's missed a spot on that uniform.
Would have been different with 1 out. Might have tried that. 2-0 to Christian. pitch. Swing and a foul back. He had a big rip at that. 2-1. It's got a big hole on the right side of the infield. If he were to hit a ground ball over there, doesn't even matter how hard it's hit. He'll probably get a base hit out of it. 2-1 to Christian. Roof deals. High. 3-1. He's in a great hitter's count now. Waterman is on deck. He's got to be just looking for a fastball middle in that he's going to drive. And he does have a home run. One of the 2 hit in this tournament for Point Loma. The other one was hit by Otto Kemp in the 5th inning for the only run for Point Loma. 3-1 to Christian. Low ball 4. So 2 on with 2 outs for Easton Waterman, who has been the best hitter for Point Loma in this tournament. 1 for 2 tonight, a double and a walk.
Now batting the catcher, number 2, Easton Waterman.
Is this middle third of the order coming through with 2 outs?
Ochin leading at second base. Christian leading at first base with 2 down. Roof deals. Waterman takes, and it's up and away. 1-0. The runs that have scored for North Greenville were because of an error, which was unearned. Scored on a ground out. And a ground out that scored another run, and that was when there was a walk. So they've taken advantage of some situations. While Point Loma has had to work for everything, just haven't been able to get the clutch hit other than the home run. And they've struck out a ton. Ground ball up the middle. Octavio Fields flips to second. It's close. They got him as Bivens came across the bag just in time to get Christian on the force play, and the inning is over. Wow, that was pretty close. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left on. 11 left on now for the Sea Lions. 7th inning stretch here in Cary, North Carolina. 2-1, North Greenville on top. Heading to the bottom of the 7th inning, North Greenville looking for insurance on a 2-1 lead. Tight ball game here. And well, if you just counted all the opportunities that Point Loma has had, you would think that they would have taken the lead by this point, but they still trail by a run.
Feels a lot like our earlier game, except it was Point Loma clinging to a narrow advantage the whole time.
Nathan Garco goes to work on his 3rd inning of relief after he came in for Gonzalez. Facing Bivens, first pitch outside, 1-0. Bivens 0 for 2, fly to center and grounded to 3rd. Only 5 hits for the Crusaders in this game. Check swing, and it's fouled back. 1-1. Kind of might remind Landon Powell of the first game of this tournament. That was on Sunday when they beat Westchester 3-1. We saw Coach Powell on our way out that night, and he was saying that he was kind of having a sigh of relief because he felt like it just never was comfortable. They didn't have a big enough lead for him. Ground ball, left side base hit into left field. So Bivens with a leadoff single as Malone throws it in.
Yeah, they had that lead in that first game against Westchester and were able to hang on, just could never grow it, and were always susceptible to a rally from the Golden Rams.
So the 6th hit for the Crusaders, and now the top of the order, Garrig Octavio. 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out, fly to left, popped to first.
Second baseman, number 1, Garrig Octavio.
And Garco faced the minimum in the 5th, minimum in the 6th.
Bivens being held at first by Christian. First pitch to Octavio, bunt, third base side. The pitcher, Garco, bare hands, throws to first way late. So that's a bunt single for Octavio. And it's 2 on, nobody out.
Garco waves off Kemp, believes he has a better chance barehanding this ball. But ultimately, it's just a great bunt from Octavio.
Now batting left fielder, number 4,
So that's a second time that we saw a batter bunt, thinking maybe he'll get the runner over, but getting a base hit out of it. We saw Jax Cash do that. And now Ethan Stringer up there with 2 on, nobody out, and you wonder if he might be bunting. Small ball has been working for North Greenville in this game.
Well, and again, sometimes you force an errant throw on top of it all.
By the time Garco got to that ball, he really didn't have a chance to get Octavio, who can fly. Good speed on the bases with both runners here. If you are going to bunt, you want to bunt towards third, make the third baseman field it. Kemp is playing even with a bag, stepping off the rubber Garco. And now Coach James is coming out to the mound to talk about this situation. Well, definitely a little strange that Point Loma would have a situation where an error cost them earlier in the game, because they had the fewest errors of any team in the nation. Their fielding was the best, but that hurt them tonight.
Yeah, I'm not going to pin the game on the error, though, when you look at 11 runners left on base.
That's the key, is they've had so many chances to score.
Just like that game we had earlier, boy, this game could go either way so easily.
Right. And the wheels are turning for these two head coaches. As Justin James went out for the conversation, Landon Powell got his group together. They huddled up. This is a key spot right here. If they could add to this 2-1 lead, make it more difficult with only 6 outs to go for Point Loma. They have the bottom of the order due up in the next half inning. So here we go. Does Stringer bunt? Or does he swing away? He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. The left fielder Malone made a diving catch to end the inning in the 4th, the last time Stringer was up there. Garco deals. Stringer late, square around, bunts in between the mound and home plate. The play is to first, and they get the out. 1-4 on the sacrifice. The runners move up, and possibly the second baseman Dumont might have gotten spiked over there at first base.
When you can execute a bunt on your first try, good things happen. Back-to-back bunts. Octavio still on the base paths. Stringer able to give himself up on the sacrifice.
Dumont walked away limping a little bit. The infield is coming in with John Michael Fail coming up. So this is a spot where you really need a strikeout if you're Garco. Fail struck out his first time against Garco, 1 for 2 in the game with a single and a walk.
Yeah, Fail was the first batter Garco saw in relief back in the 5th inning.
Fail 7 for 15 in the tournament. Looking for a big hit here. The infield goes back, though. They were in for a moment. Now they're back. Called strike.
The first of those 7 hits, of course, was his very first at-bat this weekend on Sunday. The home run in his comeback.
Interesting decision to play the infield back in the 7th inning of a 1-run game. But you have a guy in Fail who hits the ball so hard that if you had the infield in, your chances would be slim, it seems. That ball gets by the catcher, Waterman, all the way back. Here comes the runner, the slide, safe, as Bivens scores to give North Greenville a 2-run lead. And on the play, Octavio goes to third.
Couple of bunts that move the runners around, and a ball that gets away from the battery here of Point Loma.
Wild pitch. That is a killer.
As North Greenville has been able to get that run back that they conceded a few innings ago.
Now the infield does come in. They can ill afford to give up another run. 1-1 is your count. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That was a beauty by Garco. 1-2. He really could use a strikeout here. Kloop is on deck, but if he gets a K, at least the infield can move back again. One, two to Fail. Outside and low, 2-2. Our best crowd of the tournament. Lots of fans here from North Greenville rooting on their Crusaders to try to win the national championship. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Fail. Man who's hitting .418 on the season coming in. Break-even pitch. Popped in the air right field. This should score the run. Ochin, though, lining it up as a great arm. Tagging Octavio, headed to the plate. The throw, not in time. Too much speed for Octavio. That beats the arm of Ochin. And now it's a 3-run lead for North Greenville.
John Michael Fail does it again. This time able to find a pitch he can send out to Ochin and right. And even with Hunter Ochin's arm, that makes that a lot closer than it otherwise would be. First crooked number on the board with 2 here in the 7th.
Interesting way to get it, as you had a solid single, and then you had a bunt for a base hit, a sac bunt, and then a sac fly. There was a wild pitch mixed in there. Now they're talking this over. Is this about when Octavio left from third? That's about the only thing I can think of.
They have already thrown over to third for the appeal. It appears unsuccessful.
Right, so they were just talking it over. And now he throws over to third again, but doesn't touch the base, so I don't know what they were doing there. Now they're doing it. He steps off the rubber, throw over to third, touch the base, safe.
They did that a moment ago, just while the umpires were huddling.
Yeah, I guess time had been called, and you have to step off the rubber and do it. Now they're going to talk it over again.
I think now they may have indicated a review. It might be worth it.
Yeah, to see if Octavio left early.
There's no guarantee, though, that there's going to be an angle they're looking for at both simultaneously, third base and the outfielder.
Well, just taking a shot at it here.
Again, our umpires this week, they are not making the review call. They do not look at the monitors. Instead, that is the head of officials for the NCAA Division II, who has access to a monitor and the angles made available.
This one might be tough, like you said, Lincoln, to see if he left too soon.
Well, you're hoping you have both an angle at third and an angle at right. That's not a given.
This has really been a small ball game for North Greenville. Just execution when they've needed to do it. And they've done it throughout this game. I mean, that's just a good job by Fail to get the ball deep enough in the outfield. And they don't have enough evidence to overturn that.
An unsuccessful challenge. As Point Loma, you can understand that's a big run.
Marek Kloop comes up. He is 1 for 3, a single and an RBI. 75 ribbies now this year for Kloop. And he takes in the dirt 1-0. So a 3-run lead looms large the way things have been going for Point Loma and their inability to drive in runners.
By the way, does Nate Roof just hang out with our cameraman when he's not on the mound?
There's a shot foul down the left field line. 1-1 the count.
Was that Nate sitting over there? Or
I'm
was
not sure if it was.
Okay.
I'd have to get a better look. Let's go to replay review.
You have one left.
1-1 the count to Kloop. Hit in the air to right center field for Alvarez on the run. And that is out number 3. 2 runs come in for North Greenville. They had a couple of base hits, including a bunt single. The end of 7, North Greenville 4, Point Loma 1. They're doing the do-si-do out there.
Yeah, some fans of NGU making the trek. Now, they had Nate Roof's number.
There is Nate Roof. Alongside Lincoln Rose, I'm Joe Castellano as North Greenville They are 6 outs away from a national championship. Jack Malone to lead it off, 0 for 3 tonight, facing Roof for the second time. Struck out against him the first time, looking, and he is lined a short fly to left earlier in the game. Takes a strike, 0-1. He gets the award for the Gold Glove, if there was an award for that, here at the D2 Championship for all the catches he has made, especially today. Made one against the wall, and he's made 2 diving catches today in 2 games. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2. They'll be followed by Dumont and Alvarez, the bottom of the order here for Point Loma. They have 3 infielders to the right of second, and he swings and misses, strike 3, ball in the dirt. So Cash will fire over to first, and Malone is out number 1. That's 4 strikeouts for Roof and 12 Ks in the game for the North Greenville pitchers.
Yeah, Reese Fields did a nice job in his start. Nate Roof has come on. Just one man for the Sea Lions has scored.
North Greenville does have action in their bullpen again, as Dumont comes up 1 for 2, a single and a walk. That's on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for North Greenville. 1 run, 8 hits, 1 error for Point Loma. Sea Lions have left 11 on base. That's fouled back. They've had something going on in every single inning, but have only had the 1 run on a home run by Kemp in the 5th. His 17th of the year. Second baseman Octavio playing out in the outfield again against this switch hitter batting left. 0-2 pitch, way high, 1-2. Octavio's moving back even further into the outfield. And then with this count, they changed the infield and now move the shortstop over to where he's on the right side of second base. And the third baseman, Monteith, is playing at the shortstop position. 1-2 to Dumont, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a pitch that was sinking down, a changeup. 2 Ks to start the inning for Roof.
So much for the shift.
You don't need any fielders when you got Roof dealing like this. 5 strikeouts since he came in the 6th. And 2 2/3 innings. And that's 13 Ks now for the North Greenville pitchers. Here's Isaiah Alvarez, 0 for 3. Struck out, grounded to third, grounded back to the pitcher. And Roof's breaking ball is in there for a strike, 0-1. Otto Kemp hoping for a chance on deck. Point Loma, they're going to need some base runners here. Fastball outside, 1-1. Roof came on in relief of Fields. Fields threw 108 pitches in 5 innings. Roof is at 42 pitches out of the pen. That's high, 2-1.
And Reese Fields got the ball to start. Nate Roof, the only man in relief so far tonight needed.
The 2-1 fouled back, 2-2, so now he's trying to strike out the side in order. They have a right-hander in the pen that could be Tristan Hudson, who has 5 saves to lead North Greenville this season. 2-2 to Alvarez in the dirt, 3-2. Hudson appeared 1 time here. Herlong has the only save so far in this championship for North Greenville. 3-2 now to Alvarez, trying to work his way on with Kemp waiting on deck. The payoff pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wow. How about Nate Roof? Strikes out the side in order, strikes out 6 in his 3 innings of relief. And North Greenville 3 outs away from a national championship. The breaking ball has been working for both of their pitchers. Bottom of the 8th inning we go, 4-1 in favor of North Greenville. Hunter Ochin makes his first appearance at the Division II Baseball Championship as a pitcher. And this season, 4-0 with a 2.40 ERA. This is his 14th appearance, all in relief. 30 innings, 19 hits, 12 walks, 21 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 181 against him. So he comes in from right field to pitch. And Baxter Halligan, who was the DH, is now out in right field.
Oh, by the way, Pat Monteith set to lead things off.
Monteith is 0 for 3 in this game. He has reached on an error. Takes the ball 1-0. He reached on an error and scored a run in the second inning. Fly to right, struck out. So Ochin to face Monteith, Center, and Holiday to try to keep it at a 3-run deficit for Point Loma. Called strike, 1-1. That's down and away. 2-1 now to Monteith.
We saw Point Loma throw 2 different first-team All-Americans in that first victory today against Rollins. They have flexed their depth in pitching, despite having played one more game than North Greenville, but an opportunity here for Ochin.
Monteith takes, and that's a strike. 2-2. Well, North Greenville can beat you in a lot of ways. They can beat you with power and extra base hits, or they could do it the way they've done it tonight with some bunt singles and just execution. Ground outs that score a run or sac flies.
Yeah, last inning was huge with those 2 runs, the way this game is played.
3-2 now to Monteith.
If there's anybody left in Tigerville that didn't make their way here,
Fouled back.
they're probably breathing a little easier with a 3-run lead now.
Ochin has not pitched since May the 20th when he had 2 scoreless innings against Northwest Nazarene. 3-2, low ball 4. So a leadoff walk for Monteith.
Of course, that was against former Point Loma head coach Joe Schaefer, who we saw lead Northwest Nazarene here last year.
Center fielder, number 19, Josh Center.
Now Josh Center, who is 1 for 3, a single. Well, we've seen that arm out in right field.
Yeah.
He almost did something that we couldn't believe, trying to throw out a runner at the plate from right field. A couple times where he's made some throws that were eye-opening. Now we see him on the mound.
Is he allowed to pitch from second base?
He has the arm to do it. Slider bunted, and it's foul. We don't see the idiosyncrasies that we see at the plate for Ochin. Of course, he would probably be balking all the time, right?
You'd be advancing runners.
He's not jumping up and down and hitting himself. Well, he did right there a little bit.
He's also not at risk of being called for a delay.
Sign put down by Waterman. Runner at first, nobody out. Pitch to center. And slider misses. 1-1 the count. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, the top of the order due up for Point Loma. Kemp, Anderson, and Halligan to try to come back. Swing and a miss. Snap throw to first base, not in time from Waterman. Back in Monteith. 1-2, so Ochin looking for the K here. North Greenville trying to win all their games here at the D2 Championship. The 1-2 fouled back, trying to win a title by going 4-0 in Cary. In their first trip, they had been on the verge for a while. 2018, they lost to Columbus State in the regional. Columbus State went on to the Division II Baseball Championship. 2019, North Greenville lost to Catawba in the Super Regional. A game that went 14 innings. Then COVID hit when they were number 2 in the nation, North Greenville. 2-2 the count. And then last year they lost in the Regional 2 Wingate, who made it here and won the national championship. So they've been getting close. Now they get here and they're trying to just sweep through to win it all.
3-0 this week. Looking to complete that 4-0 journey.
Runner at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 to center. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ochin gets him on the breaking ball. 1 away.
Bounces back after the walk to Monteith, who's still on first.
Now Jordan Holiday, 0 for 2. He is grounded to short, driving in a run, walked and flied to center. That run in the second inning looms large after an error by the shortstop Anderson. A fly ball by center got the runner to third, and then the ground ball scored that run. But all the runs have seemed to be that way, where it was just you had to work hard for him. You had to walk in the second, and then eventually an RBI ground out. That was the second run, and then 2 more runs in the 7th after a single to the outfield, and then a bunt single, a sac bunt, and a sac fly. Doing all the little things right. Swinging a foul at the plate, and that caught Waterman, the catcher, somewhere.
Yeah, conversely, Point Loma last inning was the first time they haven't had a base runner all game, as they were unable to respond from the 2 runs added by North Greenville. They go 3 up, 3 down against Nate Roof with a strikeout. Once again, our home plate umpire, Rick Cacciatore, just buying some time for the man who is his last line of defense back there.
Yeah, Waterman's caught every inning today, 2 games, and then gets nailed by a foul ball there. That was the second time, by the way, that the Sea Lions struck out 3 times in an inning, that last inning. 0-2 to Holiday with a runner going, swing and a miss, strike 3, throw to second, the slide. He is out. A strike him out, throw him out double play as Waterman throws out Monteith. Holiday K'ing, and that retires the side. They may take a look at this, though, because it was close down at second base. We'll see as Monteith went in, tried to get under the tag, looked like he might have.
Yeah, the review has already been requested by head coach Landon Powell.
Dumont putting that tag down, and when you saw it live, it looked very close, but when you see the replay, kind of looks like he was safe.
Yeah, this inning is going to continue after they take a look at even just that one angle. Monteith got his hand on the bag before the tag applied. So he will be on second with 2 outs after they take a look at this.
Yeah, I think this is going to be enough evidence to overturn it. Looks conclusive to me. What do you think?
Yeah, Monteith's safe.
Got the oven mitt, and the oven mitt is in there before the tag. Pretty clear.
Now, again, this is a lesson. Quit raising the glove to the umpire immediately and just keep it on the runner. There's a chance there. Monteith got there first, but came off the bag for a moment. And if you keep that glove on him, you've got your out.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to quickly whip that glove up to show the umpire.
Well, it's one of those, slap tags. You get it down, and you hope the umpire just thinks that was a tag, even if it was a little late. And for about 100 years, that worked. But now that we have video evidence, it doesn't work anymore. And
yeah, it used to be, did the ball get there first?
Right.
Similar to, were you around the bag on a force? But we assume this inning is going to continue with Monteith on second.
That'll be 2 outs because of the strikeout to Holiday, but it won't be a double play. Overturned. Even though he's safe, I got to give Waterman credit because he just got hit by a foul ball, and then he threw a strike down to second. Coach James is arguing this a little bit. I'm not sure. Oh, he wants them to take a look at whether or not that was interference, but the throw was perfect down there. But still, I think Coach James wanted the umpires to look and see if Holiday interfered when he struck out. Let's take a look. Ooh, he has a good point. It was a great throw. It didn't hinder him, although maybe it did as far as the velocity on the throw. But this is a good point by Coach James. That does look like interference to me.
Well, you know what he can do? He can cup his 2 ears. Now, the umpires were allowed to look at that on the review. They did not, we presume.
Oh, he has a great point.
He can ask them to look at it.
We didn't even really think about that until we took a look at that, and Waterman is shaking his head saying, come on.
He's got 1 review left.
I mean, Waterman's saying, I might have made a great throw down there, but I could have got more on that thing if I did not have Holiday right in front of me like that. And, wow, I completely understand the frustration for Coach James.
I want to point out a couple things. Our officials can initiate from upstairs if they see this right here and believe that it should, in fact, prevail for Point Loma as interference.
Yeah, that was interference, I think. But, I mean, and Coach James had every reason to go out there and ask for that to be looked at a little closer in a different way, which is very interesting because they already looked at it.
Yeah, I have a feeling the only angles they were looking at was simply the good old-fashioned around the bag with the tag.
Right, but why wouldn't they be able to look at the interference possibility?
I assume these two gentlemen are just trying to buy time.
This was earlier in the game when we saw Monteith get called. Now, he went all the way across home plate. That was pretty clear. That was even more evidence. But this one, similar. He didn't get right there over the plate.
Yeah, I don't think it's a slam dunk.
No, the Monteith one earlier definitely was.
And they are not going to look at it further.
The Monteith one was a strike him out, throw him out double play. And coincidentally, Monteith this time involved, only he was the runner at second base, while Holiday was the batter. All right, now Jack's Cash at the plate. We'll see how this turns out with the runner at second, now 2 down. Ochin's been waiting all this time to deal another pitch.
A reminder, since we are in the 7th inning or beyond, our head of officials can initiate reviews as well as our 2 head coaches.
Cash 2 for 3, 2 singles at a bunt single. And takes a ball 1-0. He has 7 hits and 12 at-bats in this tournament. And he's done a nice job as a catcher. 4-1 in favor of North Greenville in the bottom of the 8th, trying to add to the 3-run lead. The 1-0 popped up. Right field side, Christian, the only person getting close, but it drops out of play. 1-1 to Jack's Cash.
Cash has been on good terms with the confines here. When he needs a ball to stay in play as the catcher, it behaves. When he needs one to get out of the confines to keep his bat alive.
Caught one that was up near the screen behind home plate the other day. 1-1 to Cash. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. That had a lot of break to it. 1-2.
Point Loma will be staring at least a 3-run deficit when the top of the order comes up in the 9th, including the only man who has scored today in this evening's ball game for the Sea Lions.
That'll be Otto Kemp. Jack's Cash behind 1-2. Ochin, breaking ball outside. Ochin trying to strike out 3 in a row after his leadoff walk to Monteith.
Coach Dyson with the bling on.
North Greenville run in the 2nd, a run in the 3rd. They led 2-1 going to the 7th. 2 big runs in the 7th. Trying to add to it here. The 2-2 to Jack's Cash. Line drive center field. That's a base hit. Alvarez comes up throwing around third. Monteith heading to the plate. The relay throw, not in time. Going to second base, Cash. RBI single to second on the throw. 5-1 North Greenville, and they are celebrating.
Might be the loudest it has been all night. They sense that they are inching closer to a national title.
By the time that was relayed by the first baseman, Christian, it was way too late. And Cash, he was pretty excited going around the bases. Monteith runs really well. No way you're going to get him.
And remember, a successful review extends this inning and ultimately adds at least a run to the tally for NGU.
And a little controversial because no interference call that could have been possibly called. Bivens pops it up. Shallow right center. Dumont giving way to Alvarez. He's got it. The inning is over, but a very important insurance run, you would think. And that makes it 5-1. North Greenville, they're 3 outs away from a national championship on NCAA.com. Well, North Greenville, their fans standing up and anticipating a national championship, 3 outs away with a 4-run lead going to the 9th inning. It's no longer a save situation, but their closer does come on, Tristan Hudson, who has 5 saves this year, 1.96 ERA to go along with his 4-1 record, makes his 28th appearance all in relief, 17 walks, 51 strikeouts in 41 1/3 innings. Opponents batting 150 against Hudson, who has made 1 appearance here, and it was a scoreless inning with 3 strikeouts. The only other time that he has been on the mound, and he comes in after Roof was just terrific. 6 strikeouts in 3 innings that were scoreless. Only gave up 2 hits, so Roof was definitely terrific after Fields was pretty good as a starter, and we'll see if he can get those last 3 outs.
Well, we've been fortunate to watch some great programs over the past decade, and a coronation, many of them their first. We know one of these 2 teams will be claiming their first.
It'll be Kemp, Anderson, and Halligan for the Sea Lions to try to get something going. And they've had a lot of opportunities, but they've left 11 men on base tonight. Kemp, a home run in the 5th for the only run for Point Loma, the 17th of the year. Hudson deals, and he slings it in there for a called strike, 0-1.
And much of the night, Point Loma was just one more swing away from tying this ball game. North Greenville over the past 2 innings have tacked on 3.
Gets ahead 0-2. He's not fooling around. Kemp, who's had a great time here in Cary, 9 hits and 20 at-bats. Driven in 4. Checks his swing, takes outside. Did he go? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire, Ray Chamberlain, on the appeal. 1-2. Point Loma team that is 51-9. The 1-2. Grounded foul on the third base side.
Again, we see 8 teams arrive each year, each believing that they might be the team of destiny. Many of them have faced adversity throughout the year and overcome it. The nature of this tournament, the best of the best all collide. Only one team prevails in the end.
Kemp lines one to left field. That's a base hit. So he gives Point Loma a little bit of life as Springer throws it in. Leadoff single for Kemp. Now Scott Anderson takes the baton.
In the 2 games in which Point Loma has faced elimination this week, Kemp has 6 hits all today.
Yeah, that 4-for-4 game earlier today, that game that started at noon. So Point Loma will need to get 2 more base runners to bring the potential tying run to the plate. Anderson 2 for 4 tonight, a double and a single. He's 8 for 24 in the tournament. Hudson deals, and it's in there for a strike. 0-1.
Go, Scotty.
Still with all 3 outs to work with.
Tristan Hudson, the redshirt senior from Salem, South Carolina, to Anderson. Low, 1-1. Point Loma has actually out-hit North Greenville 9-8 in this game, but trailed by 4 runs.
Hey, Scotty.
Hudson the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big rip right there by Anderson.
They've had at least 1 base runner every inning with the exception of last inning when Nate Roof struck out the side.
Hudson, his cutter is a good out pitch for him. Also throws a curveball with his fastball that gets up to 89 miles an hour. 1-2 to Anderson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 15 strikeouts for the North Greenville pitchers tonight.
They would welcome 2 more.
The right fielder, number 15, Baxter Halligan.
Great breaking ball right there, and got him to chase. Baxter Halligan climbs in. He is 1 for 3 with a sac bunt. Singled back in the first inning. Was the DH, now the right fielder. Kemp at first, 1 out. Ochin is on deck. That's inside, 1-0. Well, if you have your last opportunity in the 9th inning, you'd love to have these guys up, right? Your hitters right in the middle of the order. Give you your best chance to try to come back.
Couple of pitchers.
Yeah, we're also really good hitters. 3 infielders to the right of second. That's there for a strike, 1-1. Well, these North Greenville pitchers have done such a great job. They've held down their opponents, and in this game, when there have been so many chances, they've left 11 on base. Fields, Roof, and now Hudson. Hudson likes the sign from Cash, who sets up inside, now over the middle. High fly ball right field. Kloop going back, way back, looking up. It's gone! Baxter Halligan keeps Point Loma's hopes alive. A 2-run homer, his 10th of the year. And now Point Loma within 2.
Well, again, he was embraced by his teammates coming off the mound in that first game, but they knew it wasn't going to be the last they saw of him. That bat, so potent, has meant so much.
A 404-foot blast off the bat of Halligan. His first home run here in Cary. And he's going, let's go. Let's come back. Here's Ochin. Takes a strike, 0-1. If Ochin can get on, all of a sudden the tying run comes to the plate in Christian.
How critical have the past 2 innings been where NGU scored 3 more?
Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-2. You're right about that. Ochin is 2 for 3. Single, double, walk. But Hudson, trying to shake off that homer, knows he just needs outs. Needs 2 more for the title. The 0-2 pitch. Low. 1-2. One with a fastball there.
Let's go, Joe Booth.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Ochin. The pitch. Chopper. Shortstop. Fielding it. Bivens throws. Got him. 2 down. And now North Greenville 1 out away from the national championship.
What do you say, JC?
Jacob Christian stands in the way. He has struck out 3 times tonight and walked. If he can get on, then Waterman would come up representing the potential tying run.
First baseman, number 26, Jacob Christian.
So Christian, the freshman, trying to keep the season going for Point Loma.
Here we go, freshman. Let's go, brother.
That's in there for a strike, 0-1.
Let's go, Loma. Let's go.
No balls, 1 strike to Christian. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-1. Got to be patient here if you're Christian. Infield playing him to pull. Outfield straight away. Not playing all that deep. Hudson into the wind, the 1-1. On the outside corner, called strike, 1-2. So now North Greenville 1 strike away from the championship.
The phones are out. Memories being made.
Nobody on, 2 outs. 1-2 to Christian. inside that almost hit him. 2-2. Christian getting settled in the box. Hudson takes a deep breath. 2-2 to Christian. Swing and a miss, strike three. North Greenville wins the national championship, the first in school history. On the 16th strikeout of the game, Landon Powell and his Crusaders win it all as Landon Powell's team sweeps through as they go 4-0 here in Cary.
A homecoming of sort for Landon Powell. Great memories before ever making his way to Cary with his team, and new memories made. And back in South Carolina, Tigerville has become Titletown.
What a way to celebrate your 300th career win for Landon Powell. And these fans are pumped. Their first trip here to Cary, they win it all. They win all 4 games. And they did it with a bunch of strikeouts, 16 of them, and execution on offense. A tight ball game that got tighter at the end there with the home run by Halligan, but Hudson gets the last out.
It was a tall task for the Sea Lions of Point Loma to be the first team from the West to win in decades. They had to win 2 today and force another tomorrow. North Greenville 4-0 this week takes care of business. And the undeniable champions here in Division II.
Reese Fields wins his 11th game. He pitched well as the starter. Hudson finishes it off. And you can see some of the disappointment too from Point Loma because they had a great year. And they won 3 games here. Came so close, but in the end, North Greenville just had it all. Their pitching staff was great. Their offense scored a lot of runs. And they just did it a little differently in this game today, but give them credit because they were able to execute when they needed to. Came through with some clutch plays, and they added on to their lead. As you mentioned, that was huge to add a couple of runs there. Near the end in the 7th inning, they added 2, and then they got another run in the 8th. So really adding 3 on to their lead. Otherwise, they would not be celebrating right now, and that was the reason they win it 5-3.
Always a time of year we look forward to when the best of the best collide. We got that this week, and certainly tonight at North Greenville. So many individuals, collectively an incredible team. You're going to have a lot of great memories, including finally lifting that trophy on this Friday night.
And you go back to when Landon Powell took over this job in 2015. The year before, they were 8-35, but he has really grown this program to this point to get them to be the best team in Division II baseball. Congratulations to the North Greenville Crusaders. Well, great job by our crew all week long. We always enjoy coming here to Cary, North Carolina. Everybody does a fantastic job. It's hosted by Mount Olive. So I want to thank everybody that works here that has helped us, and a great job by our entire crew here with NCAA.com. Well, Lincoln, enjoyed working with you again all week, and we will enjoy watching the celebration for North Greenville as they are awarded the National Championship trophy.
I'm done with the drinking, I'm done with the smoking, I'm done with the playing, I'm done with the joking, I'm done with the ladies, I'm done with the fellas, just saying. Farewell tequila, so long margarita, lady sativa, I hate to leave ya, don't want the pressure, I don't need a lecture, no thank you honey, God bless ya. I know, I've said it all before, but it won't hurt to do it all once more. This is my last roll. Once I start, I ain't gonna stop till I go too far. That's all, and it's okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll feel the pain. Last roll. Last roll. I'm done with the heartache. I'm done with the demons. Can't wait to be normal after this weekend. I'm done with the drama. I'm fixing my karma. One more night of pure nirvana. I know I said it all before, but it won't hurt to do it all once more. This is my last roll. Once I start, I ain't gonna stop till I go too far. Last roll, and it's okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll feel this pain. Last roll. Last roll.
20 for the 2022 NCAA Division II Baseball Championship. First, let's congratulate both teams on their outstanding achievements and thank our hosts, the University of Mount Olive and the town of Cary, for their partnership, commitment, and success in hosting this national championship. Presenting the awards tonight is Todd Reeser, Chair of the Division II Baseball Committee. And now we present the 2022 NCAA Division II Baseball All-Tournament team. Please come forward as your name is called. Catcher from Point Loma, Easton Waterman. At first base from Westchester, Mike Ferrara. At second base from North Greenville, Garrett Octavio. At third base from North Greenville, Pat Monteith. At shortstop from Point Loma, Scott Anderson. Outfielder from Rollins, Ryan Coleman. Outfielder from Point Loma, Jack Malone. Designated hitter from North Greenville, John Michael Fail. Pitcher, utility from Point Loma, Baxter Halligan. Pitcher from Rollins, Jalen Whitehead. Pitcher from North Greenville, Reese Fields. And your MVP from North Greenville, Reese Fields. And let's hear it for your 2022 All-Tournament team. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the national runner-up, the runner-up team in this year's NCAA Division II Baseball Championship, finishing with a record of 51-10, the Point Loma Sea Lions. Will the following individuals please come forward to receive your awards? Number 1, J.J. Gerardin. Easton Waterman. Scott Anderson. Jack Malone. Cole Hilliard. Isaiah Alvarez. Seth Freiberg. Otto Kemp. Caden Reyna. Jason Dumont. Dylan Miller. Baxter Halligan. Nathan Garco. Jake Intrican. Adam Axtell. Reagan Maxson. Hunter Ochin. Connor Hill. Jack Gonzalez. Andrew Meyer. Jacob Christian. Zachary Bean. James Halpin. Jonathan Kuzowski. Matthew Schlesner. Athletic trainer Josh Edwards. Assistant coach Riley Regala. Assistant coach Steve Sanchez. And head coach Justin James. Congratulations to Point Loma on a fantastic season. Let's give all these outstanding student athletes, coaches, and staff a round of applause. And now the presentation of the National Championship Team Awards and Trophy presentation. The 2022 NCAA Division II Baseball National Champions, finishing with a record of 54-10, the North Greenville Crusaders. Will the following individuals please come forward to receive your awards? Garrick Octavio. Tristan Hudson. Ethan Stringer. Pat Monteith. Jax Cash. Corey Bivens. Dawson Taylor. Bryce Roddy. John Michael Fail. Noah Takis. Campbell Kennard. Nate Ruth. Josh Center. Thomas Skipper. Jordan Holiday. Darian Whitaker. Andrew Kaminsky. Reese Fields. Brent Furlong. Mike Rodriguez. Matthew Toppensee. Marit Klute. Caleb Gibson. Seth Chestnut. Zach Zara. Cade Spikes. Nathan Barrelette. Stephen Kite. and Jake Girardi. Congratulations to the North Greenville University Crusaders, your 2022 Division II National Baseball Champions. Will head coach Landon Powell and the team captains please come forward to accept the team championship trophy.
What a tournament it was. And Point Loma, North Greenville faced off for the national championship. Point Loma had its moments, had lots of chances, ended up leaving so many men on base in this one. And in the end, even though they came back with that big home run, the celebration was for North Greenville as they win their first ever national championship in their first trip to Division II Baseball Championship. For Lincoln Rose, I'm Joe Castellano. For our entire crew, thanks for watching on NCAA.com.